abandoned structure trapped inside a giant iceberg.
Was about to turn into one of the wildest luxury transformations ever imagined. At the end of this video, this dead iceberg will become a glowing modern glass mansion, and trust me, the final reveal looks absolutely unreal.
Out here, where nothing should survive, I found an iceberg hiding a secret so impossible, it looked less like nature and more like a dream someone abandoned. I came alone through brutal water and merciless wind, chasing a rumor nobody believed. Carrying one lantern, one plan, and a feeling that this frozen giant was waiting. Then I saw it, a doorway buried inside solid ice, like the mountain itself had swallowed a building and kept its last secret locked away. The moment that door opened, the storm disappeared behind me. And the silence inside felt older, colder, and somehow more alive than the ocean outside. In the darkness, something reflected back at me. Not ruin, not random ice, but the shape of a future hidden where nobody would ever think to look. I touched the frozen wall and saw it clearly. This dead place was not the end of a story, it was the beginning of something unforgettable. Behind those narrow tunnels, the iceberg opened into a giant hollow world, broken, dangerous, and beautiful enough to make even failure feel worth it. Every rusted stair, every snapped beam, every frozen platform told me people had tried to build here before. And the ice had taken everything back. Below me, black glacial water moved like liquid shadow, terrifying at first, until I realized it could become the most luxurious part of the whole place.
Is a tomb.
So I started drawing on the ice itself.
I have to keep going.
Bridges here, glass there, light above, water below, turning a ruin into a blueprint before anything existed. I found an old generator room trapped in frost, proof that human hands had once fought the cold here, and lost long before I arrived. In that dead room, my lantern was the only warmth left, one tiny glow against a frozen grave that still refused to feel completely empty. The first strike mattered most, because once the ice finally cracked, the whole place stopped feeling cursed and started feeling possible. I dragged out rust, shattered boards, twisted metal, and years of silence, clearing space not just for construction, but for a completely different future. Then sunlight slipped through the ceiling for the first time, and suddenly this buried chamber did not feel forgotten anymore, it felt chosen. That first open platform was small. But standing there, I could already see a living room floating inside the cold heart of the iceberg. Heat met frost, steam rose into blue air, and every inch we freed from the ice felt like rescuing architecture from a slow frozen death. As the debris disappeared, the chamber took a breath, and for the first time, it felt like the iceberg wanted to become something new. When the steel arrived, the dream stopped being imagination and started becoming weight, structure, and proof that luxury could invade even the wildest place. The first anchored beam changed everything. Because once the skeleton held, the mansion was no longer a fantasy, it was already being born. A bridge stretched across the hollow, hanging over black water, and suddenly there was a path through the ruin where only emptiness existed before. Fire from the welding torches danced across blue ice walls, and that contrast, heat and frost together, became the soul of the whole transformation. I walked the first suspended path slowly, hearing every creak beneath me, knowing one day the same terrifying drop would feel like pure luxury. When we opened the roof for light, the chamber transformed instantly, not because it was finished, but because it finally had a sky. The first glass wall went in, and the ruin changed character in a single moment, from abandoned industrial shell to something undeniably modern. I looked into the glass and barely recognized the man staring back. Because somewhere between survival and obsession, I had become the creator of this place. A transparent path over dark glacial water should have felt insane, but inside this iceberg, it felt exactly right, dangerous, elegant, unforgettable. The skylight sealed overhead, and daylight flooded the core so beautifully it felt like the iceberg had opened its eyes for the first time. Then the warm lights came on, and all that cold blue space softened into something rich, intimate, and impossibly expensive looking. At that point, it was no longer a project hidden in ice. It was clearly becoming a home that nobody on Earth would believe. The staircase rose like a sculpture in midair, proving this place was not just being rebuilt, it was being elevated into art. Polished floors mirrored the water below so perfectly that every step felt like walking between two worlds, one frozen, one refined. The living room frame appeared next, and that was when comfort entered the story. Not just structure, not just beauty, but actual life. The kitchen glowed with clean lines, hidden light, and reflective surfaces, turning the harshest environment imaginable into something sleek and deeply human. The bedroom hung above the dark water like a private dream, warm and quiet, with a view so wild it almost felt unreal. And then came the bathroom, steam, stone, soft light, raw glacier walls, a level of luxury so extreme it felt almost disrespectful to winter. When the fireplace finally lit, the entire mansion changed emotionally, because that flame made the iceberg feel less like a conquest and more like a home. The black water below became a glowing indoor lagoon, calm, polished, and beautiful enough to erase every memory of the ruin it came from. That corridor of glass and light felt like walking through the future, every reflection reminding me how far this frozen shell had already come. Under the skylight, the dining space looked like wealth trapped inside nature, precise, warm, and somehow still respectful of the ice above it. When the art went in, the mansion finally felt curated, not just constructed, like someone had taken time to give the cold a personality. The piano room might be my favorite part, because nothing says impossible luxury like music, glass, and glacier walls sharing the same silence. Outside, the first clean glass facade cut through the iceberg like a signal, telling the world this frozen ghost had become architecture. At dusk, the lights turned gold inside the blue ice, and suddenly the entire structure looked less like a building and more like magic. A heated edge overlooking the frozen sea should not exist here, and maybe that is exactly why it feels so unforgettable. On the rooftop fire deck, surrounded by nothing but ice and horizon, I realized luxury is most powerful when it stands where it should not. At night, the mansion did not just glow, it breathed, alive inside ancient ice, warm enough to make the whole landscape feel transformed. And when the aurora arrived above it all, the mansion stopped looking man-made and started looking like something the sky approved. Walking through the finished interior in one smooth motion made the transformation undeniable. Every room flowing into the next like this place was always meant to exist. The completed bedroom felt peaceful in a way I never expected, soft, warm, and suspended above one of the harshest places on Earth. The finished spa bathroom turned survival territory into sanctuary, proving that the most brutal environment can still hold incredible comfort inside it. Even the water beside the living spaces became part of the design, glowing through glass like the iceberg itself was quietly alive. When the smart lighting shifted across the rooms, the mansion felt futuristic, responsive, almost aware, as if the whole structure had learned how to breathe. Seeing the ruin and the finished mansion share the same frame hit harder than I expected, because transformation always looks impossible until it is done. I set the lantern down at last, because I did not need to carry light anymore. The place I imagined was glowing on its own. When I looked back across everything we built, pride felt quieter than victory, deeper, heavier, more like gratitude than triumph. The central atrium said everything at once.
Initiating the smart light stance. From warm gold to cool blue.
Water, fire, glass, sky, scale, proof that beauty becomes unforgettable when it grows out of ruin. From the outside, the final structure looked completely impossible, a modern glass mansion carved into living ice, suspended between survival and fantasy. above and the freezing ocean below, the whole place felt like a dream too sharp, too detailed, too emotional to fake. It started as an abandoned wound inside a glacier, and ended as a home so unreal, people will swear this could never have existed.